Hey Wanderers! Welcome back to another Foolish Wanderers podcast, the podcast about anything and everything. So as some of you may know, Mars, the candy company and maker of M&Ms, has recently announced that they will be replacing their iconic and lovable sentient M&M characters / mascots with their new Chief of Fun, who is the lovable and iconic Ma&Ya Rudolf.
Is she iconic?
I think in some areas, I think, yes. She's in Bridesmaids, that's where I first heard of her. Okay. And I love that movie. But yeah, she's also
now we trail off for what she's from.
Okay. So no hate to Ma&Ya, but the iconic talking M&Ms have been charming their way into our hearts and into our bellies since 1954. So they've been well established, and this is kind of like a jolt to the system. And people have expressed their unhappiness with this news very loudly on the internet. So we're going to talk about some of it. But before we talk about the slightly upsetting news, we're going to dive into the history of M&Ms themselves and kind of talk about how the characters and all the different off-branches have come to be. Alright, so first we're going to start talking about how they were invented. And they have actual wartime beginnings. So Forrest Mars Sr., son of the Mars Company founder, Frank C. Mars, copied the idea for the candy in the 1930s during the Spanish Civil War when he observed soldiers eating British-made Smarties. They're basically the UK and Canadian version of not-so-brightly colored M&Ms. They're still very popular today.
Wait, aren't the Smarties just like it's like a Tums, but they're like little? Isn't that a Smarties?
A Smarties is like an M&M, but like different colors.
What the heck? I'm like, no way, I'm looking this up right now.
You're looking in the American version where it's like a little chalk.
Yeah, it's like a Tums.
So that's what they call rockets. They call them rockets, and then M&Ms are Smarties. So it was like a weird
rockets.
Rockets, yeah. Because I think, if I remember correctly, Smarties like the M&Ms in the UK and Canada. Smarties and or M&Ms came first, and then once Smarties were invented, like the US version of Smarties,
the superior one.
There you go. The Smarties that we have, like, they couldn't use that name in the UK or Canada because it was already taken by the M&M equivalent. So they're like, oh, we'll call them Rockets.
Ew. Any name would be better than that.
Rockets?
Any name. Yeah, that's just. It's not like a pleasant name for a candy. I don't know. Like, maybe for one that was like Pop Rocks, that makes sense. But like chalk, like a chalky candy that like resembles Tums, and it's called Rockets. And like you take Tums because maybe there were some rockets in your intestines, and now you're taking the Tums. You know, like it's just kind of like
okay, yeah.
It's not pleasant.
So I actually found a quick brief snippet of why it's called Rockets. They were invented in 1949, so about 10 years after M&Ms became a thing. After World War II, the D family picked up some pellet machines originally used to manufacture gunpowder and munitions, and they used the same mechanism to create the candies.
Ew, so nice little tinny residue from pellets from the war.
It's candy residue. Delicious.
Oh.
Okay, let's get back to M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So the Smarties are chocolate pellets with a colored shell of what confectioners call hard panning. This is what M&Ms uses too. It's basically a hardened sugar syrup. That's what that white layer is over the chocolate, in between the color and the chocolate. And this is what prevented the chocolates from melting in their hands. Mars received a patent for his own process on March 3rd, 1941, and production of the M&Ms began in 1941 in a factory located in Newark, New Jersey. So the company's original name was M&M Limited. The two M's represented the names of Forrest E. Mars Sr., the founder of the Newark Company, and Bruce Murray, son of Hershey Chocolate's president, William F. R. Murray, who had 20% share in the product, the M&Ms. And the arrangement allowed the candies to be made with Hershey chocolate, as Hershey had control of the rationed chocolate at the time. So if they wanted to make any, basically any commercial chocolate candy, they had to go through Hershey.
Mm-hmm. The big boys.
Big boys. Yep. So, side note, have you heard apparently that basically all chocolate is contaminated with lead and cadmium?
What's cadmium?
Cadmium, it's so like lead, it's naturally occurring.
Mm-hmm.
It's a silvery white metal. Basically, lead and cadmium are heavy metals that you're not supposed to ingest. And so basically all chocolate has this, because I believe it's the cadmium gets soaked up in the roots of the plant, and then the lead is something with like the outer shell of the cocoa pod. And so like when it's not processed correctly, you get more lead and cadmium in your chocolate.
So actually, you're going to get it anyways, but like if it's not processed correctly, you're going to get more?
Yeah, exactly. So like milk chocolate is technically safer than dark chocolate, even though dark chocolate is supposed to have better health benefits. It's
what
like
the health benefits? You lose weight because you're eating lead or something? Like your milk.
No, it's supposed to help with your heart or something. There's like more, I don't know.
Weird. I don't know. If you get into like food science and all that stuff, if this even is food science, it's all weird.
It is.
I've heard, isn't like the color, like the red dye in like Skittles or M&Ms made out of like beetle shells?
Yes, there's which number is it? It's like 20 something, I think.
Yeah. It's like, just don't look into it. if you ever want to eat again, just don't look into the ingredients in food.
No.
Don't do it. I just recently, never had seen it before, but just recently watched how hot dogs are made.
Oh, yeah, that's not a great one to start.
And it looked it was very weird.
Yep, makes you not want a hot dog.
I could still eat one, but it was just really disgusting and weird. I'm pretty sure like chicken nuggets are kind of made the same way, but not as bad, like weird parts.
Yeah. Yeah, chicken nuggets are still kind of like processed and mushed together chicken.
Yeah,
but
it's just like they throw like the chicken parts and gizzards and stuff into like this, probably crusher, and then it goes, makes this like Jabba the Hutt looking blob, and then from there it like goes into this little like dinosaurus mold, and then breadcrumbs are put on it, and then it, you put it in the microwave or whatever, the toaster oven, and then you eat it.
Yep. Delicious.
Sort of the same thing with the hot dog, except for there isn't a dinosaur mold. They're put into like the it's just
that would be kind of odd, eating a dinosaur shaped hot dog. It's like you're eating moving on. So I actually looked it up. So the natural red 4 is the dye made of carmine beetles. So, and it's used in basically all your cosmetics too.
Yay!
Fun
as long as it's not lead.
Yes, don't eat lead.
Lead on my face.
Yes. So the M&M Company's first big customer was the U.S. Army, which saw the sweet invention as a way to allow its soldiers to carry the chocolate in tropical climates without it melting. So during World War II, M&M candies were exclusively sold to the military. So the resulting demand for the candies caused an increase in production, and the company built a new factory a little farther away in Newark, New Jersey. And it remained there until 1958, when it moved to a bigger factory in Hackettstown. In 1978, a second factory was opened in Cleveland, Tennessee. And today, production is pretty much split 50-50 between the New Jersey factory and the Tennessee factory. So
there's a Cleveland, Tennessee?
Apparently, yeah. You didn't.
That's just those things like throw me off. It's like
Paris, Texas.
Paris, Texas, and then what else is there? There's one in Canada, something like that. Like, I gotta look it up. There's one in Ontario. What is it? Which one is it?
Is it like Minneapolis or something?
No. Is there like a Paris, Ontario? I don't know.
Oh, it could be.
Oh, there is a Paris, Ontario. There we go.
There you go. So be careful where you're booking your flight to. If you're going to end up in Texas or,
Oh,
Canada.
Yeah. Don't you want to see a classy Eiffel Tower with a big old cowboy hat?
Oh, and some giant boots.
Are there boots there?
Oh, I have no idea. But it's Texas.
Oh,
So,
I was like, because they have an Eiffel Tower in Paris, Texas, but it has
Yeah.
like a cowboy hat on the top. It's like,
oh, I didn't know that part was real. I knew they had a
yeah,
tower.
that part's
but
real. That's why you threw me for a loop when you said
Okay.
cowboy boots, and I went in my head. I'm like, did they add like weird like 4 boots to the base or something? Like
That'd be
it's wearing 4 boots.
Please do that. That's amazing.
So weird. Okay.
Okay, moving on. So in 1949, M&M's introduced the tagline, "Melts in your mouth, not your hand."
But it does melt in your hand.
The candy coating does, not the chocolate.
But then if the coating melts, won't the chocolate melt too?
Like eventually, but it's more so like when I've held them in my hand that long, it's like the color, and then it just barely starts to get to the chocolate. But
I think I must have the most, like, the hottest, sweatiest hands then.
Yeah.
Because I just cook them.
Oh, delicious.
Not really. What? That's why I just kind of like what is it? Like a buzzard. Or like not a toucan, like a pelican. I just kind of, just like gulp them down from the hole in the bag.
Delicious. One of the things I really liked when I was a kid is I heat them up in a microwave slightly so they'd be melty on the inside, but still have the crunchy shell.
Just put them in your hand.
It melts everywhere. This way you get like a warm, melty treat with the crisp outside.
But it's like, where'd you put it? Like it's on the plate? Or
no,
like a bowl?
In a bowl.
Okay.
I'm not a heathen.
I don't know. I mean, melting M&Ms in the microwave is kind of towing the line.
There's worse things, but okay. Alright. So in 1950, a black M was imprinted on the candies, giving them a unique trademark. And then the M stamp was later changed to white in 1854.
And it was made in 1854?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Was that 19? It was supposed to be 19. Apologies.
Okay.
1954. Sorry.
And the white M was made out of asbestos.
I hope not.
I don't think there's any way for it to be, but...
No, I don't think so. The powdery substance. Alright, so peanut M&Ms were introduced in 1954, but first appeared exclusively in the color tan. So not as fun as regular M&Ms.
I think I like that better.
Just tan?
Yeah.
Just boring tan?
Tan's a good color. Tan's like a foundational color. I like it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like a nice, like, not stern, but like...
Stern
hug. Like a stern handshake. It's a foundation.
Okay, fair enough.
It might not be as fun and whatever as the green and the red, but, it'll be there for you in times of need.
I'll give you a hug. Or a firm handshake. Yep. The M&Ms then decided to get fancy with it and added yellow and red and green a few years later.
Yeah.
So in 1976, the color orange was added to replace the red, which was discontinued in response to the red dye scare over red dyes number 2 and 4 having been discovered to be carcinogenic in nature. This is like this huge thing, so they pulled the red dyes and made it orange instead for a while.
Didn't you say red dye had the Beatles in there, or is this before the Beatles?
This is red dye number 4, which
because
not said it was red dye.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure if it's the same exact stuff.
This is pre-Beatles? Probably pre-Beatles, because if these ones, discovered to be carcinogenic, then...
I honestly don't know, because the carmine beetles have been used since like the beginning of time to color things red. So I read an article too that like they've been kind of going back to this and studying these dyes and like seeing if they have like conclusive evidence to make them for sure carcinogenic. But they're still inconclusive. So there's no solid evidence. So it could still be, and we're still eating it. So
I haven't eaten them in years, so
that's good. But I'm sure you've used like lipstick or eat another anything else with red dye. Yeah. Let's see. So although M&Ms were made with the less controversial red dye number 40, the public was still wary of any food dye being red. So even back then, like they didn't use number 4 or number 2, they used number 40, but still like, because everyone was so afraid of the red dye.
Red, okay.
Yeah, they're just like, nope, cut it. Fair enough. And then red M&Ms were reintroduced in 1987. And they've stuck around since then. See that? So when M&Ms first came about, and until like I think it's 2000, year 2000, the milk chocolate M&Ms are actually called plain M&Ms. And it's a very recent change in name. And they changed it. So like originally they're just M&Ms. And when they added the peanut brand or the peanut flavor, they said, oh, we need a little name for them. So they called them plain M&Ms. Peanut and plain.
Peanut and plain. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Good marketing.
Oh, yes. And originally M&Ms were actually sold in little paper tubes, which is kind of cool. I wish we could go back to that.
That kind of reminds me of at the bank when you need to, for your coins, and they give you those little those little tubes.
Yeah, but I think these are closed on the ends though.
Isn't the money?
No, they're open.
But that's how I like close it. Like I push the end because I haven't used all the way to like close it so it doesn't fall out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think these have like little caps on them though.
Oh, that's nice.
They're fancy.
Added luxury that the bank doesn't give me.
Oh yes, for 5 cents. Alright, so in the 1980s, M&Ms were introduced internationally to Australia, Canada, Europe, Hong Kong, Japan, Malaysia, and the United Kingdom. And then in the early 1980s, M&M Royals were released with an advertising campaign that said, "Now, chocolate's got a whisper of mint." And they were colored pale green or brown and were marked with a crown rather than with the M&M's logo, M. So
those like mint M&Ms though,
mm-hmm.
Those ones are really good.
They are delicious. I love them. Yes. So also during the 80s, M&M's released seasonal color mixes with special symbols. For example, red and green with Christmas trees for Christmas, and pastel colors with bunnies and chicks for Easter. And they still do this today.
Yep.
It's something that started then and continues today.
Unlike the mascots.
We'll get into that. So in 1991, peanut butter M&Ms were released. The peanut butter versions, you've guessed it, had peanut butter inside of them. They had the same color scheme as the rest of the varieties. In 1995, tan M&Ms were discontinued to be replaced by blue. So until then, there was like a mixture of like red, orange, green, and tan.
Old trusty tan.
Oh, tan. Yes. As they replaced it with blue. To introduce their new color, the Home Shopping Network televised a promotional video for the blue M&M. Producer John Watson became the first man to wear the famous blue M&M suit. Dance around and advertise the little blue M&M.
On the Home Shopping Network?
Yeah. Ooh, the 90s. So, during the 1990s, Europe first began to adopt the M&M's brand name. And before that, they had 2 other well-known brands, basically the same thing, but they were called Bonitos and Treats. So Bonitos were Bonitos, and they're basically just M&Ms with little faces on them. And then Treats are Treets, and they're basically the peanut M&Ms, but just covered in chocolate with like a hard shell. They didn't have any colors or fancy M stamped on it.
And are these knockoffs, or are these like M&M's brand, but they're like the European brand?
I believe it was the M&M's brand, but they just marketed them differently. I believe that's what it was.
Got it.
Yes. And then in 1996, Mars introduced M&M Minis, which are my favorite. And they're the superior M&M, in my opinion. The smaller candies are usually sold in plastic tubes instead of bags. They still are today.
Mm-hmm. I've swallowed so many of those, though.
Just whole, didn't chew them.
Yes, they're so small. I've swallowed so many.
Yeah, yes.
Some on purpose, mostly not.
I would just like toss it back like a shot.
They're so small. Like if I get the minis, I would always just like shove them all in my mouth,
Okay.
And then, some of them, sometimes some slip away.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, they're my favorite. They have like the perfect ratio of crunchy to chocolate.
It's a lot of crunch, yeah.
Delicious. And then crispy M&Ms, another favorite of mine, were released in 1999. They were discontinued for a while in the US in 2005, and then in 2015, in January, they returned to production in the United States.
What's crispy? What's that one? Is that the pretzel one?
No, those are delicious as well. No, crispy was just like a Rice Krispie, like a puffed rice surrounded in
M&M. Like a crunch bar?
Kind of, yeah, just individual crisps.
The rice?
Yeah, puffed rice.
Okay. Now I want Frosted Flakes.
Oh, delicious. Ray's looking at me like she wants something, and it's scaring me.
Probably Frosted Flakes.
Yes. Oh, I discovered that she likes pita chips and tortilla chips along with her saltines.
I was like, I was just gonna say, I was like, she's been upgrading her palate. That's good. Pita chips, Ray. My goodness.
Ooh, we're getting
You've
fancy.
been watching Rachel Ray on the.
Ooh, Rachel Ray. Ooh, there you go. All right, so now we're going to get into some marketing, and there's been a lot of marketing tactics, and some stranger than others. So over the years, marketing has helped develop and expand the M&M's brand. Computer animated graphics, personification of the candies as characters with cartoon-like storytelling, and various merchandising techniques, including the introduction of new flavors, colors, and customizable merchandise, has helped to increase the brand's recognition as a candy icon. So, pop culture fun fact, in 1982, the Mars Candy Bar Company rejected the inclusion of M&Ms in the new Steven Spielberg film, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So they turned this down, and they would regret it, because their competitor, Hershey, took the opportunity to showcase the Reese's Pieces, which is similar to M&Ms but contains a peanut butter filling. With the film's blockbuster success, Reese's Pieces sales dramatically increased, close to about 300%. So it was like a gigantic.
Oh my gosh, they needed it flew off of their graph.
Oh yes, it's like one of those little wire extension things.
Those Reese's Pieces though are so good, but I don't see them as often on the shelves as I do M&Ms.
No, I think it's a marketing thing because M&Ms, you got the cute little jolly creatures,
not anymore,
guys. We'll see. We'll see if that's the real thing yet. But yeah, I think after E.T. they kind of fell behind on the marketing. And
yeah, that's right. He does have that's what his little snack that E.T. likes to eat.
And there's little posters that say E.T.'s favorite candy, Reese's Pieces, and he's eating Reese's Pieces.
E.T.'s so creepy though. I thought he was creepy looking as a child, and I think he's creepy looking as an adult.
Yeah, I remember watching it as a kid, and I was terrified of when he's in that tunnel, the bubble tunnel.
Oh, he's sick.
Yeah,
that part was kind of frightening.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
Why does he have blue eyes?
Makes him beautiful and angelic. Okay. Yes. And friendly. All right, so moving on to some other marketing campaigns. Between 1982 and 1987, M&M's slogan was, "All the world loves M&Ms."
Except E.T.
Yeah, he hates them. He likes Reese's Pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1990, M&M's exhibited at New York's Eric County Fair a life-size fiberglass cow covered with 66,000 M&M candies, each adhered by hand with the M logo of each candy facing outwards. According to the website run by the cow's designer, Michael Adams, the stunt earned M&M's Mars about $1 million in free publicity, because it was reported on Newsweek magazine as well as the New York Post, UPI, and WABC TV, and Live with Regis.
And Kathy Lee.
So there's actually, I'll leave a link to the video below if you guys want to check it out, but there's actually a clip of Regis adding the last M&M to this cow. And it's this whole, everyone's like, oh, yay, congratulations, this giant cow, life-size cow covered in M&Ms. It's odd, but,
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
And then having, Regis film and, add the last M&M.
Yep, he's just like, oh, look at this, we add some this glue, and you go, ooh, and everyone cheers, and yay. It's weird. Yeah. Yay. Okay, moving on. So in 1995, the company ran the M&M's Color Campaign, a contest in which participants were given the choice of selecting purple, blue, or pink as the color of the new variety of M&Ms to replace the tan.
No.
Kendra says, no, keep the tan. So the announcement of the winning color blue was carried on most television networks and news programs, as well as the talk shows of David Letterman and Jay Leno. Yeah, it's a huge thing.
The late night shows talked about this?
Yeah, Jay Leno. I used to watch that show.
And he goes you heard about this? Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Yeah. So as part of the contest results, the company had the Empire State Building lit up in blue. That's how they kind of revealed, oh, it's blue.
That's cool.
Yeah,
But
it's cool.
the Empire State Building seems to light up for anything nowadays because, like last night, they lit up the Empire State Building, which is in New York City, with the colors for the Philadelphia Eagles because the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl, and a lot of people were not that happy with the Empire State Building because that's your rival.
It's a little bad.
Yeah.
They do it for the Chiefs too.
What? No, just the Eagles.
That's weird.
It is.
Faux pas. No.
Faux pas. A lot of people were like, tear that trashy heap down. It's probably a joke, I hope, but
I hope so. My goodness.
I think it's funny. Get that ugly building out of the skyline.
Oh man. So although the financial details of the deals were not disclosed, and neither was the campaign's effect on the sales, one marketing book estimated that the company collected millions in free publicity because of this color stunt. Yes, because it raised everybody's awareness of M&Ms again. So in 1996, Mars produced Christmas-themed advertisement for the candies, which the red and yellow characters run into Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. And have you heard? So basically, they've been running this ad.
It's the same one.
Yeah, it's over and over again. Yeah. And Hershey decided to make their own version. That's the bells, the Hershey Kiss bells.
Oh.
That one's been run ever since like the early 90s as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of did the same thing.
But like the M&M characters with like Santa, like that's like
it's a classic.
That's a famous commercial. That's more of an iconic commercial than Maya Rudolph. Maya Rudolph's about as iconic as that dump of a building, the Empire State Building.
I don't know if I could put that in there without getting the backlash, so moving on.
It's a joke.
Yes.
Come on, the Empire State Building is leaps and bounds ahead of Maya Rudolph and the M&M characters.
Okay, so in 1998, M&Ms were styled as the official candy of the new millennium, as MM is the Roman numeral for 2000.
Oh, that's very smart of them.
Yeah. So this date was also the release of the rainbow M&Ms, which were multicolored and filled with a variety of fillings.
They should come back with those.
That'd be delicious. I'd buy it. Yes. Oh yeah. So I messed up the slide, but yeah, that's a picture of the cow.
I already don't like it. It has like orange demon eyes. I already don't like it.
Yeah, it's fun. And then so I'll leave a link if you guys want to check it out.
Sure, I will watch it later when there's light.
When you're not gonna be haunted by this cow's eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we get into the lovable characters. So early black and white advertisements for the M&Ms started in 1954. They featured 2 talking, anthropomorphic M&M characters, 1 plain and 1 peanut, diving into a swimming pool full of chocolate. And I'll leave again a link if you guys want to check this video out. It's kind of cool. But like the plain M&M is a lady, and she like is sitting on a diving board or something. They're talking about like dipping into chocolate and having a crunchy coating, and then the peanut one like the peanut one dives into the pool of chocolate and gets covered in chocolate and then puts on his chocolate coating. It's weird, but it's kind of funny.
That would be like us diving in like a thing of like skin, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Being like, I want all this skin on my body. Let me put all this, and
then you have a suave talking man, like an actual man on there that's showing you the packaging for the M&Ms. Yeah, it's a commercial.
It's a commercial.
It's a commercial. It's kind of cute, but also kind of like, okay. Yeah. Okay, so the first incarnation of the characters in CGI was made in 1994. And it was a celebrity campaign which had the M&Ms interacting with the celebrities, asking them which color was their favorite. Yeah. So this campaign was created by Blue Sky Studios, which I believe actually closed down recently.
I thought didn't they do Rio, like that movie?
Blue Sky?
Yeah, with like the little toucan thing. I gotta Google this now.
It's a parrot, but yeah.
Anne Hathaway or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta Google this.
So they made like Ice Age and stuff.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Oh, it was Blue Sky Studios for Rio. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it says they were defunct in 2021.
Yeah, and they actually part of their closing thing, they animated Scrat, the little squirrel, he got his acorn. He got to eat his acorn finally.
Oh.
So that was cute.
So what else did they do? Robots?
That one creeped me out, but I also like it.
I was like, yeah, I thought you liked that movie.
Kind of.
Spies in Disguise?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Horton Hears a Who. I saw that one. That was like Jim Carrey or whatever. The
So,
Peanuts movie. They made a movie?
Yeah, it was pretty
I mean, I
recent.
know they have like a 1,000, TV specials, but I didn't know they made a movie.
It's like an animated one, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so in 1995 is when like basically all the M&M colored characters kind of came into the CGI realm. They've had a bunch of different voice actors voicing them. The characters include the cynical and sardonic Red, mascot for milk chocolate or plain M&Ms. Let's see, so the peanut butter and crispy M&Ms and the happy gullible yellow peanut M&M were all voiced by the same guy, John Goodman.
John Goodman did that?
Yeah. And then other mascots were the cool blue, voiced by Rob Pruitt. And he was also the mascot for the almond M&M, the blue one. The seductive green, which is actually kind of controversial, and we'll get into that a little bit later as well.
What?
It was a whole thing, I guess. So apparently Green's personality was a reference to the 1970s urban legend that green M&Ms were aphrodisiacs. I did not know this. This is weird.
Oh.
And then there's also an anxious orange character who's come back as like different, representing the different flavors. I think there was for crispy and then also caramel, I think. And he's had like little side characters. So like for the pretzel M&M, there's like a little pretzel ball, and it's like telling the little pretzel ball is telling the M&M like, don't worry, it'll be fine. And the M&M is like freaking out because he doesn't want pretzel inside of him. It's weird.
Yeah, that was icky. I remember that.
Really
that was
weird.
really like, I was like, who in the heck is running this?
Yeah, it was weird. And other mascots that were introduced but are no longer used now are Almond, the original green guy, Orange, which was a female peanut character, and a chocolate bar, voiced by Phil Hartman, the first non-M&M character that always gets foiled or outdone by Red and Yellow by being melted because it doesn't have a chocolate or a candy coating. So it's just like a chocolate bar. And then the Swarmies for M&M's mini candies, which I think is kind of an adorable concept, which were portrayed as destructive yet crafty troublemakers, from whom Red and Yellow are always trying unsuccessfully to contain. So the minis are like rambunctious children. Swarmies! Yeah. Alright, so female M&M mascots were introduced in 1995. Green was milk chocolate, and tan was peanut. And then marketing discontinued tan when they introduced then the new blue mascot. So when the whole blue thing was announced, they took away the female character, brought in cool blue. So then green was the only female M&M mascot from basically 1995 till 2012, when M&M's unveiled a new additional Spokes candy, Miss Brown, the Chief of Chocolate Officer. That was her title, Chief Chocolate Officer. So during a Super Bowl ad for Super Bowl 52, Red was transformed into a human after finding a lucky penny and wishing that he was inedible. And as a human, he was portrayed by none other than Danny DeVito.
I remember that commercial.
I do too, yeah.
All the best Super Bowl commercials have Danny DeVito in them.
Yes, it's tradition.
I've never eaten at Jersey Mike's. I can't even have Jersey Mike's. And yet, when I see a Jersey Mike's commercial with Danny DeVito in there, I want to go eat there.
It's pretty good, but yeah, no gluten. All right, so I don't know. So now, recently, actually, M&M's has created like little monologues and more of a personality for each of their colors. So I did find all of their. I don't know if we want to go through all of them, but on their website they have like all their questions. Yeah,
Let's go through all of them. I don't care.
Okay, so
do they
red.
have names?
It's just
or they're
colors.
just like red. They're just the colors of their name. Okay.
Yeah, it's like red, cool blue.
Cool blue. What?
Yeah, that's the almond one.
That's a dumb one.
Okay. So Red's quote is, "I instinctively know I have great instincts."
And he's like the cocky, like leader one. Yeah, he's like he's the dick.
Yeah, he's a little shit. Yep.
Did you just call it candy?
Yes, I did. Okay.
Haven't they been through enough, Katrina? They're dead, and now you're
All been fired. Yeah.
they've been fired.
Okay, so then they gave him like questions. So, do you enjoy your celebrity star status? Does a fish enjoy water? Or lion enjoy lioning?
See, he's just a little dick.
Yeah, he is. What's your best quality? If I had to pick one, I'd just say it's my charisma and my smarts. And of course, my humility.
My smarts?
My smarts, my street smarts.
Oh.
Yep. What's your worst quality? I'm a perfectionist.
Oh my god, I hate that. Everybody puts that when in your resume. They're like, "What's your biggest weakness?" And then you're like, my biggest weakness is that I'm a hard worker."
That's not a weakness though.
But
Like to an extent it can be, but
like my weakness is I'm a perfectionist, so I have to have everything perfect before when I'm working. Yeah, it's like that's a
it's a pet peeve.
That's my I'm like, oh my god. But I probably have done it before too.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Let's see. So yeah, it says I'm a perfectionist. I can't help but be perfect. And directors I've worked for tell me it's a curse. So yeah, it's a curse to work with them, I guess. All right, favorite meme of all time. I've been in a lot of memes. It's hard to pick my favorite.
Good answer.
Good answer. Golf clap. Okay, moving on. So Yellow. His quote is, "My favorite thing about today is everything."
Oh, look at him with his little high tops on.
Yeah, he's cute.
Wait, do they all wear high tops?
They have different shoes, and we'll talk about green later. This is part of the controversy.
Oh yeah, I remember that was from
weird.
Like a while. Yeah, that was weird.
It was very weird.
Weird.
So what would be the first thing that you would do if today was your last day? Well, I guess the first thing I would do is wake up.
Oh my god.
Any pet peeves? Well, I have a pet fish and a pet rock. No peeves, though. Are they hypoallergenic?
I'm surprised he knows what hypoallergenic means.
Me too. Favorite color? I know this is probably obvious, but aquamarine.
And an Easter color.
Mm-hmm. If you pick any other career besides being a spokes candy, what would it be? Ghostwriter. I love scary stories.
Oh my god.
Yes, now we get into the anxious orange. He says, I find your lack of concern extremely concerning. This poor candy. So favorite way to unwind? I don't understand the question. Are you an optimist or a pessimist? I'm positive something will go wrong at any moment.
I think this is like a college student. Yeah.
It literally is.
Yeah.
Favorite knock-knock joke? An expected knock on the door is nothing to joke about. An unexpected.
True. That is true.
And can't leave the house without panicking. I feel bad for Orange. She needs help.
Yeah, honestly, though, if we took a test of who we were most like, I'm pretty sure a lot of us would test to be Orange.
You relate to Orange, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I bet there's a test like that. We should take it.
I don't want to look it up. Because there definitely is going to be one. Okay.
There is.
But, yeah.
Alright, now we get to I think the newest one. Purple.
Not new anymore. I'm just going to keep doing this the rest of the episode.
Her quote is, flawless? How about flaw more?
I don't like her.
So best advice you could give your teenage self? Dance like no one's watching.
I don't like her.
Until you realize someone is. Then stop immediately and pretend a fly was just attacking you. So dance and then pretend a fly was attacking you, apparently.
Dropping her in the toilet.
Just picking out all the purple M&Ms for your bag.
Yeah, fling them in the toilet.
No.
After I go.
So nasty. Okay. Workout routine? Does running late count?
No. Ask your cardiologist. No.
Most embarrassing moment? Hard to pick. They seem to keep one-upping themselves. And so relatable.
I'm relatable. Is that why they made her? They try to do like the Taylor Swift, like, I'm such a relatable, like, down home, like, hoedown girl.
Yes, this is exactly why they made Purple.
Yep. Is she voiced by Taylor Swift?
No.
Okay.
Do you believe in second chances? Yes, and a third, and a fourth, and a fifth one too. No. You gotta stop.
No. Move on.
Sorry,
Where's the
purple.
sassy green one? I like the sassy green one.
Next
My
one.
favorite.
This one. Okay, so green says, I'm too busy shining to throw shade.
See, this, I like her because it sounds like the introduction to a Real Housewives show. Because you know how they all have their little lines?
Yes, they do.
Yep. That's a good one. I'm sure one of them have stolen it before and was like, I can't put that myself.
Probably. What's your best quality? Being a hype woman for my friends. I think we all win when we see more women in leading roles. So I'm happy to take the part of a supportive friend when they succeed.
Why can't she just say I want to win?
I don't know. Hidden talents? Unfortunately, being inexplicably lifelike is all I have to work with.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
She's a giant anthropomorphic candy. What does lifelike mean?
I don't know.
Where did they take her sass away?
They kind of did. They mellowed her out a lot.
Yeah, like, why does the red one get to be a little dick? And then she's, like, her thing is, like, you know, like, oh, I'm supportive for my friends. I like to watch my friends win. Why can't she win?
I think, so, like, they took away her high heels, her sassy heels, and they gave her Converse. And
well, that's more practical. But, you know.
Yes. They took away her sass, too, with those heels.
That's just not. Women can have sass without high heels.
Oh, yes.
Women can have a lot of sass in Converse.
Converse
and
Vans. Yeah.
I'll go put mine on right now. I'll show you.
Okay. So, any past transgressions that still haunt you? Nothing haunts me. My motto is live and learn and move on. They mellowed her out. Yeah.
They mellowed her out. Yeah. I don't like it.
Now we get to brown. So not bossy, just the boss. She's kind of the sassy one now.
So she's the girl boss now. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So she also has heels. So
I see that.
Yeah. So what's your worst quality? Being able to pretend I have one.
Okay, so she's the dick. Oh, she's the
Yes, she is.
Okay. I got it. Okay, she's the new one. All right, I got it.
What would be the first thing you would do if today was your last day? I'd answer interview questions like this because honestly, it seems to slow time to a crawl.
It's very interesting that Green must have gone through a lot of therapy to be able to grow that much.
I think so. A lot of years.
Good. They should have done a campaign about that.
Therapy. Yeah. M&M therapy.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube short.
Self-work. It's a good thing. We shouldn't be making fun of it. Good
Honestly,
thing.
it is. Yeah,
but you know.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So now the last one we have is Cool Blue. Almond.
It's an almond?
Almond, yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I've had one.
Almond M&Ms are delicious. I love them.
Huh.
Basically all of them are. Anyways, he says, I woke up like this. Yeah. So if you would meet anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you say to them? I'd rather meet people who are alive. With dead people, you really have to carry the conversation. What were your dreams as a child? My dream was to be happy. So it's a delicious irony that I am always blue.
He was a child?
Yes, he was a mini M&M. Okay, so do you suffer from sleepwalking? I'm not big on multitasking, so when I sleep, I sleep. He's kind of boring, honestly.
He's boring.
He's a little boring.
I kind of glazed over.
The last one.
Until that part where it's like, you were a child once. And I went, what?
What? Yep. So now we get into current M&M lore. So in January 2022, Mars announced plans...
Wait, isn't it 2023 or no?
Well, this is like a little bit ago. This is another thing.
This is a year ago. Okay.
Yeah. So Mars announced plans to alter the design of the M&M's characters. The company announced that the aim of this change was to make their characters more representative of a broader array of human personalities and personal backgrounds. So that's why they watered down green and then gave brown sass and stuff. Yeah.
But it's it doesn't make any sense because if you're still gonna have a sassy one,
yeah, keep it as green.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Make Brown have the come to Jesus moment or something. I don't know.
Well, she's a boss lady. I feel like she'd be a little bit more like stern, but not as sassy.
Bosses can be nice, right? I don't know.
They should be, but
they should be. Sociopaths.
So among these changes is the adoption of more casual clothing for green and brown M&Ms, both of which are generally interpreted to be female characters. In September 2022, they introduced a new purple M&M voiced by Amber Ruffin, who first appeared in a commercial singing, "I'm just gonna be me." And I did not like those commercials. They annoyed me.
I don't know if I remember that.
That's okay.
Do I see commercials anymore? It's like I stream everything. Do I see commercials?
I don't think so, unless you're on like YouTube or something.
I'm on YouTube, but I get ads for YouTube. Like if I look up something on Google, I'm gonna get the YouTube ad.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just gonna get it. They're selling my information.
yeah, they are.
They're selling it.
So, referencing criticism surrounding the changes from the conservative media outlets, the company teased a Super Bowl 57 commercial in January 2023 by making a, quote, fictitious announcement that the Spokes Candies were being retired and replaced by comedian Ma&Ya Rudolf. So, originally they didn't sound like they were making it up, and then everyone was like, no, bring him back, this is bad. And then they're like, okay, just kidding. Kind of.
So they're gonna bring the characters back then, or
it's undetermined. We'll see. And then also M&M's acknowledged conservative outrage over the last year's green M&M's shoe change as the reason for indefinitely suspending the use of the Spokes Candies in a tweet / Instagram post, which I shall read now. So, America, let's talk. In the last year, we've made some changes to our beloved Spokes Candies. We weren't sure if anyone would even notice, and we definitely didn't think it would break the internet. But now we get it. Even a candy's shoes can be polarizing, which was the last thing M&M's wanted since we're all about bringing people together. Therefore, we have decided to take an indefinite pause from the Spokes Candies, and in their place, we are proud to introduce a spokesperson America can agree on, the beloved Ma&Ya Rudolf. We are confident Miss Rudolf will champion the power of fun to create a world where everyone feels like they belong. And welcome Ma&Ya is the next slide. Yes. She is the chief of fun. And then also and I'll also leave a link to a video of her explaining like her new role as chief of fun and how she explains the M&Ms are no longer called M&Ms. They're now called Ma&Yas. M-A and Y-A. Ma&Yas. I think you can actually buy these packages too.
Really?
Yeah, they had her face on it and then like M-A-Y-A on different ones instead of M.
Oh, I gotta look for those. That's fun.
It's actually funny. So Rudolf told Today.com that she is, quote, thrilled to represent the brand in a Super Bowl ad on February 12th. Quote, I am a lifelong lover of the candy, and I feel like it's such an honor to be asked to be part of such a legendary brand's campaign. An M&M spokesperson confirmed Rudolph's first appearance as its spokesperson will be during the Super Bowl.
Okay, so I'll make sure I'm on the lookout for her.
Yeah, I kind of excited.
He was the M&M candy character person, the cough, the chief of fun.
Chief of fun. Yeah, so I'm like, so when I first saw this, I thought they were being serious, and then someone in like the Instagram comments or whatever, they were like, "Isn't the Super Bowl coming up? I hope this is for a Super Bowl."
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping, because the M&M candies, the Spokes Candies are too iconic. Just to rebrand everything, you can't take them out. So
yeah, then they can't show that commercial during Christmas again for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, that's true. Instead, it'll be Ma&Ya Rudolph running into Santa.
That'd be interesting to use the same exact commercial, but just sort of like CGI her in.
That'd be creepy. I don't think I'd like that.
I'd like it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's burn the M&M empire to the ground.
That's it with Ma&Ya. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So some resources that I used for this podcast are M&Ms.com, Polygon.com, Today.com, History.com, Wikipedia.org, and NBCNews.com.
Ew.
Ooh. And their Instagram post. Yes, that's when I first heard about it.
I'm still in the mood for Frosted Flakes instead of M&Ms.
Okay, fair. That's kind of good, actually.
Yeah. Tony the Tiger is closer to my heart than those M&M things.
So your childhood like favorite cereal?
No, it's Lucky Charms.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Or Captain Crunch.
Oh,
one of the two. And Captain Crunch isn't even a captain.
No, he's not.
Yeah, Lucky Charms.
Magellan. Captain Magellan Crunch.
Captain Magellan Crunch.
Magellan. All right, Wanderers, thank you so much for listening to another Foolish Wanderers podcast. If you have any suggestions for any future episodes, we'd love to hear from you guys, and please send them in to fwplisteners@gmail.com.
And as always, new episodes of the FWP are released weekly from wherever you get your podcast from, including this place that you're listening to right now. And if you'd like to support us, the best way to support us is by listening to the podcast. So thank you for listening. But if you'd like to do a little bit more, we'd appreciate it if you would consider leaving us a 5-star or 4-star review. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wanderers, for listening. We'll see you guys next time.